In the heart of New York City, where power is measured in wealth and names are carved into glass towers, one man stood above them all: Richard Lancaster. He was powerful, respected, feared. To Richard, money wasn't just a tool, it was his legacy, his immortality. But not all were blinded by fortune. His wife, Eleanor, watched him with sorrow. "Richard, a man is not measured by his bank account," she said one evening, "but by what he leaves behind in the hearts of others." Richard smirked. "Love doesn't build empires, Eleanor. Wealth does." And there was Sam, the janitor who worked in Richard's headquarters. To Richard, Sam was invisible, a speck of dust in his empire. Sam was kind and generous with the little he had. To the world, he was poor. But in spirit, he was richer than Richard would ever be. Father Thomas Gregory, the old priest, told Richard, "Remember, nothing belongs to us forever," but Richard smirked. That night, Richard sat alone in his office, finalizing his latest billion-dollar deal. Then, suddenly, a sharp pain gripped his chest. His breath faltered. The room spun. Then, silence. When he opened his eyes, he was no longer in his office. The city lights were gone. The walls had vanished. Before him stood a figure cloaked in radiant light, the eternal messenger. "Where am I?" Richard demanded. The spirit's voice was like the wind and thunder combined. "You have left the world of men. Now, you will see the truth." And so, Richard was taken on a journey beyond the veil. He saw his executives dividing his fortune, his enemies celebrating his demise. Then, he saw Sam, but not in the cold, empty office where he had mopped floors. Sam stood in a place of peace and light, a place Richard could not enter. A grand gate of radiant gold stood open before Sam, and figures clothed in light welcomed him with joy. His earthly rags were gone, replaced with robes of splendor. Richard reached out. "Wait, Sam, what is this?" The spirit's voice echoed. "He was rich in kindness, though he had no money. You were rich in money, but had no kindness. And now, you have nothing." Richard turned, desperate. He saw Sam smiling, stepping into paradise. But before Richard could take a step forward, the gate closed. And so, the echoes of his choices followed him beyond the grave. Some men build empires in the sand. Others build them in eternity. In the end, only one remains. Earthly treasures fade, but kindness, humility, and grace through Jesus leads to eternal life. For what profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Nothing belongs to us forever. Our very life is only all we have will fade like shadows.